Patrick, our October 2024 show, the last one before the election. How you feeling?
Well, I'm feeling queasy, but I think we have to take a moment and salute that club you belong to. How in the world you can come up with an idea that lures people from the cornfields of St. Wendell off the patios in Newburgh to come eat a fried banana on Franklin Street? I don't know, but hats off to your club for the amazing job they do.
Well, nice of you to say that. I play a very small part. I tell you what, I talked to some guys that literally do the heavy lifting during that week. The electrical committee, for example, on Saturday night, at midnight, they started dismantling things, unhooking things. They didn't go to bed till 4 in the morning.
Doesn't surprise me. They leave it cleaner than they found it. But on to the election.
Yes, sir.
We have it, national, state, and local election. And I believe the future of democracy hangs in the balance based upon the presidential election. But we've got a good show today where people, once again, they've gotten to meet people running for county offices, courtesy of Shively Shoulders. And tonight, our 5 million viewers will get to see those running, I think, for the state legislature, school board, and judgeship.
Here's the thing that concerns me. I hope this is one thing we can do, not just showcasing local candidates, but I'm concerned, and we'll ask our honored guest whether this is something to be concerned about. I'm concerned about low turnout, and if there's low turnout, it's going to play havoc with those down ballot races.
And why in the world would there be a low turnout when you have the presidency, the only office in the country that we all get to have an opinion on together? You've got the governorship of the state of Indiana at stake, and then you've got the county executives.
Because people
very important.
This election cycle started way too early. People are burned out. And quite frankly, many people look at the two choices at the top of the ticket as no choices.
Well, then they're not thinking it through, because there couldn't be a starker choice. But we'll have more to say about that after you stay tuned. You watch candidates who are going to ask for your vote. These are offices that cannot afford to run TV, but you'll get to meet them right here.
Take good notes.
Shively Shoulders.
My name is John Woodard, and I am honored to stand before you today as a candidate for the Indiana State Senate. As a financial services representative and insurance agent, and more importantly, as someone who has dedicated much of my life to preaching the gospel of Jesus Christ, I have always felt a calling to serve others. I am blessed to travel throughout this great country, throughout our district, and internationally to serve people through ministry. Through this journey, I have come to understand the power of community, integrity, and a willingness to serve with hands-on approach. I am running for the Indiana State Senate because I believe we need a new approach for leadership, one that is independent, nonpartisan, and truly representative of the people. Education is a cornerstone of our society, and we must invest in our local public schools. We need to strengthen the resources available to them so they can better serve our students. I will fight for policies that provide a more funding and better training and greater respect to our educators. Public safety is another critical issue. By developing strong partnerships between communities and businesses, we can create an environment where everyone feels safe and supported. These collaborations will foster trust and lead to innovative solutions for public safety concerns. Economic development is essential for a thriving community. We must support entrepreneurship and small businesses, the backbone of our local economy. By developing programs that attract, retain, and support local businesses, we can create job opportunities and stimulate economic growth. I am committed to policies that encourage innovation and provide resources for needed businesses to succeed. This election is more than just about choosing a representative or a senator. It is about choosing a future for our children where they receive the best education possible, where our communities are safe and vibrant, and where our economy strives through the success of local businesses. It is about choosing integrity, love for people, and a willingness to serve. I ask for your support and your trust and your vote. Together, we can bring a fresh, independent voice to the Indiana State Senate. Let us build a brighter future for District 50. Thank you, and God bless.
I am State Senator Vanita Becker. It has been an honor and a privilege to serve as your state senator for these past many years. I would appreciate the opportunity to continue to serve in this capacity. I have worked on many issues, including I-69, which we never thought we'd see in our lifetime and which is now complete up to Indianapolis and beyond. And also, we're working on the bridge which will go over from Evansville to Kentucky, and also that will change the makeup for small communities as well as large communities in both Kentucky and Indiana. I've also worked on mental health issues. We put $100 million into mental health this last year in the budget, and it was long overdue. We also passed a bill to provide better adequate funding for local public health departments. And it was a local option. It had to be approved by the local health department as well as the county council. And it also was strictly optional, and we were one of the lowest funded public health systems in the country. So I'm extremely proud of that initiative too. We now have over 100 million children insured either on HIP, which is a Healthy Indiana program, or CHIP with the Children's Health Insurance Program. We used tobacco taxes as well as other initiatives to provide funding in this area, and I am very pleased. We've also cut income tax. We've saved Hoosiers over $1 billion in the last 5 years on income tax, and we've also provided property tax relief. We will continue to work in that area because it is still a large concern for Hoosiers. I appreciate again the opportunity to serve you and would appreciate your vote again on November the 5th. Thank you very much.
Hello, I'm Molly Briles, and I am asking for your vote for Vanderburgh Circuit Court Judge. For the last 5 years, I have served as a magistrate in Vanderburgh Superior Court, where I've presided over thousands of civil, criminal, and family law cases. I am also one of the judicial officers for Vanderburgh County's Adult Treatment Court. I am the only candidate for Circuit Court Judge with judicial experience. In a recent poll of Evansville Bar Association attorney members, I was rated more favorably than my opponent in every single category, from legal experience to legal knowledge, judicial temperament, and the ability to be impartial and objective. I have also been endorsed by the Evansville FOP Lodge 73. I have dedicated my professional life to public service, service to others, and promoting access to justice. After graduating from USI, I worked directly with families in Indiana's child welfare system. I graduated in the top 6% of my law school class and then clerked for the Honorable John G. Baker of the Indiana Court of Appeals. I then joined the law firm of Zemer, Stamen, Weitzel & Shoulders, where I practiced for 6 years in the areas of family law, civil litigation, appellate law, and mediation. I also served as a deputy city attorney. While in private practice, I created and administered a volunteer lawyer program for survivors of domestic abuse to receive free legal representation at protective order hearings. This program gave survivors the support and confidence they needed to leave abusive situations for good. I am extremely active in the Evansville Bar Association and have chaired or co-chaired several committees, including the Access to Justice Committee and the Bench and Bar Committee. The Indiana Supreme Court has also appointed me to state and national committees aimed at improving the court system, and I have spoken at multiple statewide judicial conferences. I believe the court should remain independent, unbiased, and nonpartisan. Unlike my opponent, I am not and have never been a politician. Vanderburgh County deserves an experienced judicial officer as its next circuit court judge. If elected, I would be the first female circuit court judge in Vanderburgh County history. While it would be an honor to make this come true, you shouldn't vote for me just because I am a woman. You should vote for me because I am the most qualified candidate, and I will never stop working to make our court system more accessible, fair, transparent, and efficient. Please vote for Molly Briles for Vanderburgh Circuit Court Judge. To learn more about me, please visit my website at mollybrilesforjudge.com.
Hi, my name is Ryan Hatfield. I'm a candidate for Circuit Court Judge in Vanderburgh County. I'm running for Vanderburgh County Circuit Court Judge because I believe my experiences, both professionally and personally, give me a unique perspective in taking the bench. I'm the only candidate in the race who has worked as a deputy prosecutor, keeping our community safe from dangerous criminals. And that's why I'm running for Circuit Court Judge, to keep dangerous criminals off the streets. We have too many repeat offenders that we see come back to court day in and day out, crime after crime, who continue to terrorize our community. I'm running to keep your family safe, just as I want my kids to be safe. I'm the father of 3, Olivia, Rose, and George. My wife, Kendra, and I, who's a pediatric nurse at St. Vincent Hospital, have chosen Vanderburgh County to raise those 3 children because we believe this community can help raise them and create productive, thriving adults. But in order for that to happen, they need a safe community. I'm running for Circuit Court Judge because I believe those experiences as a sex crimes and homicide deputy prosecutor, an attorney who's tried over 50 jury trials, and as your state representative, fighting for you in Indianapolis to keep you safe and to keep life affordable for you. Those experiences give me the most unique perspective. And as your circuit court judge, I'll be fair, honest, and transparent about the process, but allow for plaintiffs and defendants, criminal defendants, parties of all sorts, their day in court in a fair hearing that gives them an opportunity to be heard. My name's Ryan Hatfield, and I would appreciate your support on November 5th. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Amy DeVries, and I'm running for EVSC School Board. I've lived in southwestern Indiana my entire life and on the west side of Evansville for 25 years. My husband John and I have 3 adult children and a beautiful granddaughter who is just 1 year away from pre-K. For over a decade, I've had my ear to the ground, listening to the concerns of our neighbors. I've worked alongside the vulnerable in our community to bring about positive change. I'm running for school board because I want to be a liaison between you, the parent, the grandparent, the concerned citizen, taxpayer, and our administration. I've listened to families who have concerns that their children in the English as a second language program are not receiving the resources and services that they need in order to flourish and to receive that free and appropriate public education that all children are entitled to. I've heard from parents who are concerned that their child's IEP or 504 plan is not being followed. If you're like me, you may be concerned about the lack of transparency and accountability and accessibility in the school corporation. It should be easier to sign up to speak at a school board meeting. It should be easier to have your concerns heard and have action taken on those concerns. I love this community, and I want it to flourish. And if elected, I pledge to work with you to create an environment that is welcoming and inclusive of all concerns and thoughts. And I promise that I will ensure that your voice is heard, because EVSC, every voice should count.
I am Brother Terry Gamblin. I'm the pastor of Howell General Baptist Church, and I am honored to be running for re-election for the 3rd District on the Evansville-Vanderburgh School Corporation Board of School Trustees. I have been blessed to serve on the board for many years. I feel my years of experience have given me valuable insight and understanding in trying to help with all the different areas and groups we are blessed to have within the EVSC. I have been blessed over the many years to work in many schools and serve on various PTA boards and committees within the school corporation. My love for youth and my desire to work with the teachers to help provide a well-rounded educational experience for our children is so important. I have always tried to keep an open door and a listening ear to all of our employees. Each and every one of our employees are so very valuable to us. I feel that an open communication with each group and parents and the community about district educational matters is so very crucial. I feel we have worked hard as a board to become more transparent with the agenda for our board meetings are always published for viewing before meetings. There is a public portion of each meeting for people to register to speak, and we also hold town hall prior to each meeting for people to address concerns. We are one of a very few corporations that hold the town hall. I know there are always ways in which we need to serve and improve. With over 23,000 students in our many schools and our vast number of classes and extracurricular activities that our students are involved in, and the many ways our teachers, staff, and parents reach out to help make all of our children's educational experience so special, we are so blessed and thankful. I have always tried to be a great listener and keep an open mind. I have always tried to keep the lines of communication open so people would always feel free to talk with me. My love for education, our youth, our teachers, and all of our employees, as well as the EVSC as a whole, allows me to bring to heart the sincerity of the school board. I would love to be able to continue to serve. I am Terry Gamblin, running for the 3rd District seat on the Evansville-Vanderburgh School Board. Everyone in Vanderburgh County can vote for the school board. School boards and judges are the last ones listed on the ballot, and we are nonpartisan. So you must go all the way to the back of the ballot to be able to vote for us. Thank you all so very much, and may God bless.
Hello, my name is Josh Barnett, and I'm running for EVSC School Board. A little bit about myself to start. I'm born and raised Evansville, Indiana on the west side. Went to Cynthia Heights, went to Helfrich Park, and then went to Wrights High School. After that, I went to Indiana University, earned my bachelor degree in secondary education, and then I moved to Indy for 10 years where I taught in a Title I school in Pike Township. Started a young family, moved back to Evansville, and then continued teaching and taught at Washington Middle School for 7 years. Was able to get out of education after the 2020 school year because my business took off that I started with 3 of my best friends and grew to something that we never really could even envision it growing to, or I'd still be teaching today. It's always been important for me to give back to the community. I've been able to stay in touch with the EVSC through donating to the foundation, to hangars. Also redid a court here in Evansville down on Fulton Avenue, which was really, really fun. So I currently have 3 kids that are in the EVSC. I have them at all levels. I have Duke at Cynthia Heights, I have Knox at Helfrich Park, and I have Isabella at Wrights High School. Why I'm running for school board? It's time for me to donate my time. I've donated money, I've donated goods, I've stayed connected, but I really want to give back now. And now is the right time. So my 3 top priorities, if elected, in no particular order here, is we need to keep the funding from the state in the public sector, in the public education. It's very, very, very important. Money's going out the door. We need to keep that home. Equitable access to opportunities for all students. It's Title I teacher, so that's obviously very important to me. We need to make sure that we are providing access to all opportunities for all of our students. And the third and final point is open and transparent communication. That goes for our parents, that goes for our students, that goes for our teachers. I think oftentimes they don't get to see behind the curtain of why decisions are made or what is being talked about. And I think we need to continue to work to get everybody kind of up to speed. So to end, I'd appreciate your vote on November 5th. I bring 17 years of teaching experience in very tough schools, Title I schools. I'm a byproduct of the EVSC. I have a ton of friends that are all teachers and administrators within the EVSC, and again, I have 3 current students in the EVSC. So being on the school board means a lot to me. I'm ready to dig in. I'm ready to put in the time and the effort to make it better. If you want to learn more about me, you can go to my website. It's Barnett, the number 4, schoolboard.com. I appreciate all the time and listening to me today, and I would appreciate your vote on November 5th. Thank you.
Viewers, we welcome back to our scene here Professor Robert Dion in the University of Evansville in the Political Science Department. Bring us some political science. The presidential election in this country. What do you see, Bob?
Boy, it's starting to tighten up. Like you said, I think Kamala Harris had a good rollout. She seemed to be ahead for a while. I think she still is narrowly ahead, but gosh, it has really tightened up. And we seem to be stuck in this cycle for the last 20-something years where both parties are more or less evenly matched, and we're doomed to have these really close races.
Let's go back to the earlier comment made at our opening. I'm saying there's a concern, has been for some time, that turnout may be a lot lower than people are anticipating. What do you think?
Well, I think it's clear that any time there's a presidential election, turnout goes way up. But you're right. I mean, compared to the old days, the turnout is not what it should be. And you're also right that people are really feeling alienated and disaffected. The real danger, as you said, is down ballot.
Right.
But gosh, even back in the old days, we had a phenomenon that we call ballot roll-off, where folks will go to the polls and they'll vote for president and governor, and then they just fade away when they get down to the county races. That's not to be confused with roll-on, which is something we used to use back in the day.
Well, we do have a lot of interesting races, not only the presidency, which, unless you're a bonehead, you pick between the vice president or a convicted felon. Setting that aside, the governor's race in the state of Indiana, a foregone conclusion for the Republicans, but they must be a little bit worried because Braun's up on TV, Rokita's up on TV. I think that race must be closer than we would have imagined.
Well, sometimes they say you should follow the money, and the Democratic Governors Association just dumped in over $500,000 because they believe that
600,000 to be exact.
Yeah, Jennifer McCormick is in the fight. She, I think it's clear to say that she's the underdog, but gosh, the last time the Democrats ran a candidate, he was fixed in the low 30s and just got clobbered. I don't think that Jennifer McCormick is going to be that far back. Can she make it over the top? That's another story. Braun has run kind of more of a sleepy campaign than you might expect from him.
Which speaks of his career in the Senate and otherwise.
And McCormick has really jumped in with both feet to do her best. So, yeah, and it's a wonderful thing that Hoosiers have a chance to choose between two visions. And gosh, when this election is over, just, 3 weeks from, less than 3 weeks from now, we're going to have a new senator, a new congressman, a new county commissioner, a new governor, a new president. A lot of new faces in the positions of power.
Let me ask you this. Every day I go online, I probably skim over, I should say, not read, skim over, to be honest with you. I'm talking to an academician here, so I got to be.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, forthright. About 8 or 9 different polls. Which polls can you trust, Doctor? Which ones should you just forget about it?
The real trick is to figure out the secret sauce of who's actually going to vote, who's actually going to turn out. And every election is slightly different, as you say, because there's a different stimulus, there's a different mix of candidates, different mood of the electorate. And so even if you use the surefire method from 4 years ago, you could be slightly off. And in a close race, that'll be a killer. So your best bet is to deal with only the most reputable polling firms.
Name some.
Well, Pew and Gallup. I know a lot of people like to beat up on the media, but the national news media aren't really in the business of missing the guesses or getting it wrong. So they don't want to put a thumb on the scale. And then there are the poll aggregators. So if you go to Real Clear Politics, they look at all the polls and put them together. And broadly speaking then, if you look at all of them moving in a particular direction, then you have a sense of the way things are. But gosh, it is closer than a tick right now. Anybody who tells you that it's going to be a runaway is deluding themselves.
Well, I believe, for my money, I believe Kamala Harris, who will no doubt win the popular vote, the Electoral College, that relic of the past that was put in place to preserve slavery, is where the fight is, down to maybe the Rust Belt. She's got to hold Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania.
By the way, Electoral College, Patrick, get your history and facts correct, was so states like Indiana, smaller states, will have a say, and we won't just let the Californians and the New York folks decide who the next president is. That was the vision of our forefathers.
If the goal is to have every vote count equally, then if you get rid of the Electoral College, every candidate has to compete in every corner of the country. Now we find ourselves with just an avalanche of money falling on Arizona, Georgia, Michigan. Pennsylvania, I think, is going to be the linchpin for the whole thing. It's possible that if Harris loses Pennsylvania, she can still tough it out by getting Georgia or North Carolina or maybe Arizona. But gosh, there are 6 or 7 states right now that matter, and they are all unbelievably close. And I guess it's possible that somebody could run the table. I don't know who that candidate's going to be. I just told people on campus a week ago that I would probably rather be Kamala Harris than Donald Trump, because Trump often is described as somebody who has a hard ceiling. He's got a solid base of support, but it seems to be stuck in the 40-something range.
Along those lines, it's getting the vote out. Which candidate's going to get, and in your analysis, which candidate do you believe has the best organization to get the vote out?
Republicans by nature are more likely to come out and vote on their own. Democrats need to be prodded a little bit. The Democrats are using the old techniques, the old style, and Donald Trump, for whatever reason, has offloaded his turnout operation to Elon Musk, and he's using this futuristic plan. And it's never been tested before, so we're about to find out in real life how that's going to go.
No matter Republican, Democrat, Libertarian, or I don't care, you owe it to this country, and you owe it to your future to vote. Thanks for watching Shively Shoulders.